Actually, she's good over
She was good there?
right there.
Okay, my name is Caitlin J.C. Patero. It's K-A-Y-T-L-E-N-P-L-A-T-E-R-O.
And then, you're saying another name, Caitlin?
Oh, and my middle name is J.C.
Oh, okay. So can I just say Caitlin Patero?
Yeah, you can just say.
And you said that you've been dating Daniel for how long now?
We have been together for about 6 months. And prior before that, we had known each other since I was 16 years old. We were, good friends at that time. Back in 2009.
Tell me about Daniel. What did you like about him? Why did you guys want to date?
He was very upfront. He was he was a gentleman first, always. And I definitely fell in love with the way he presented himself. He wasn't never aggressive. He was so sweet and loving. He definitely his smile. He was so silly. It was just very outgoing. He was never. He was always a gentleman. But I always think he definitely caught my attention because of how open he was. He definitely.
Should I stand over there? Yeah.
So then was it surprising when you found out that
Yes, but honestly, I'm the one that had figured that out because when he did not call me, I knew something was wrong. And that's not like him not to call me. So,
because you guys had just spoken like 2 hours before the
yes,
shoot, right?
we had plans to meet up. So the fact that I tried looking for him, I couldn't find him, and he never called me, I knew something was wrong. So I had spoken to my sister, and I looked up the news, and it said somebody had gotten killed, and I was seeing it. I'm like, no, that can't be him, but I already knew it had to be him. And my sister, she told me it was our own apartment, or the apartment we lived in. I knew it was him, so I called everybody. To see my own man have to go down like that and get, I could see it in him. He was afraid. He was scared. He didn't know how to react. He didn't know what to do. You could see that he was like a deer caught in headlights. I mean, I know him. I know him like the back of my hand, and I could tell right then and there at that moment he was afraid. And I just broke down and crying because honestly, it hurt to see him go through that by himself. I wish I could have been there. Unfortunately just missed each other so closely. We are always together, always. And the fact that, we were supposed to meet up and maybe he wouldn't have been in that situation, just all these things that led to that point, it could have been prevented. There was other ways to go around it,
Yeah, what do you think after watching the video and the fact that police are calling it like an ambush style attack? So you're saying you think that this could have went down way differently?
Yeah, there's so many other ways to go about this. I've seen other stories, I've seen other people in situations. They de-escalate as much as possible before they resort to that. They just basically went in, okay, you waited for an hour? That's not enough time. I've seen SWAT do stand, block off the whole street for 12 hours just to get something done. I've seen there's so many other ways that they could have prevented this. And, there's other ways to go about this, to bring a man down with a weapon like that. And they just went in there, and the fact that there's 4 officers there, and they couldn't take one man down, that blows my mind. I'm just like, I know he was surprised like he didn't run, you know. Like, he was there because he knew that apartment was vacant. He knew we had no one lived there. We had lived there before. We just moved out a few weeks before that. So he knew it was vacant. We still did our mail there. He would go with me all the time to pick up our mail.
So did he go there just to spend the night? Like, was he hopping between houses? Like, why was he there?
I'm pretty sure he went there to sleep because the type of man that Daniel is, he is not going to go over to somebody's house after 9, 10 o'clock and be like, hey, you know, he's not that type of man. He has enough respect for people's houses and homes, and he was that kind of person. Like,
did he ask you if he can go to your place that night?
Yes, we were supposed to meet up.
There?
Yeah, no, not at that apartment. No, not at that apartment. We actually had spoken on the phone. He called me 2 hours before. I was at work. And I told him, hey, we had a brief conversation, enough for him to tell me that he just left his brother's house and that he was home. And I said, okay, we'll go to your other friend's house and call me when you get there. And he said, okay, I will. He missed his friend. They weren't home either. And he didn't have a cell phone to call me and, you know, let me know where he was at. So I'm thinking, okay, let's go. If he's out there long enough, he's like, okay, well, let me just go in this apartment, get some sleep, and I'll, you know, I'll be in the morning, and I'll call her, you know.
So it wasn't a problem with you and your mom that he was there?
No.
You didn't know he was going there then?
No, we didn't know he was going there. We had moved, so, but that was an apartment we lived in before. We've been there for 2 years. So we had just moved out a few weeks before this incident happened. And
were you guys renting, or was that you guys' apartment? Like, you own that apartment?
No, we don't own that apartment.
Gotcha. Sorry.
We were renting, but we knew it was still vacant because we were still getting our mail there.
Gotcha.
You know, so he was in that area. He was, you know, his brother lives not too far from there. His friend lives not too far from there. So he barely just missed all of us. And I had called back, right when I got off of work. I called that number back, and what they had to tell me, it was a gentleman. I said, hey, where's that gentleman that just called me using the phone? He said he already left. And then he asked me, he said, are you a police officer? I said, no, why are you asking me this? And he told me, he's like, well, there's been cops across the street and they've been watching us this whole time. I'm sorry, I didn't even ask you that, but it's just making me wonder. I said, no. I said, I'm not. And I said, do you know where he went? And he said, yeah, he went walking down the street. I said, is there any way you can get him from me? He said, no, he's already gone. He's like, but if I see him again, I'll tell him to call you back. I said, okay, thank you.
So that was the last conversation you had before you found out?
Yeah, that was the last conversation.
I just have one other question. So police, you know, like I told you,
Hey,
police
Megan?
were yeah?
Let's wait for this.
Okay. And no, it's so loud. I'm so sorry. Do you feel it's okay though? You all right?
Yeah.
Okay, just one other question. Sorry. So, you know, yesterday, the police department held a news conference, and they essentially showed us the lapel videos that you also saw, and they called this an ambush style attack. They said that he ambushed the police officers, like came running out of the closet with a knife and a metal pipe, and they said that the officers felt threatened and felt like they needed to defend their own lives.
Yeah.
Did you see that in the video? Did you
Yeah,
see that
I played that. I can promise you, I played that many times. What I had seen was him come out. But he did not even come close to any of those police officers. From what I'm seeing, he was still at a distance. And the fact that his head was down, I'm like, that is not like him to be attacking somebody like that. If he was going to attack somebody, he would be looking at that person straight in the eyes and he would know what he's doing. To me, I'm seeing a man that was afraid. I know him. He would have known what to do and he would have done it, but he did not even come close. None of those officers got hurt. I do understand, you know, in that time or place that they, you know, they freaked out. But there's so many other ways to go about it. I've seen it, you know, I've known about all these different situations. They send canines in, they have, you know, they wait a few hours before they even try and go in there, but they already have their guns ready to go in there. I know it happened, but that was a small apartment. You know, if Daniel could have ran, he would have, you know, he would have taken it. But he stayed in there because he was afraid that he didn't want them to find him. You know, so the fact that he came out like that, I could see it in him. He was afraid. He was hesitant. And, you know, it's very unfortunate that that's how he was killed. And that's what hurts the most is I know him and I know he was afraid at that point. Like, he didn't know what to do. Like, what should I do? You know, and he's, at the end of the day, I know him. He was a very loving and genuine man. All he did was take care of my family and I. You know, we had plans to go back to school and go to college. He was working. He was doing great. He wanted a different life. He had came to me and he had told me, you know, Caitlin, I want to be successful. I'm tired of people portraying me as this person that I'm not. And I said, no, you're not like that. I said, I know who you are. You are capable of going far in life. You're able to do it. He told me, I want what you want, what you have, you know, and I'm working, I do everything. So I told him, I said, okay, I'll show you how to do this. I'll show you how to get there. And he did.
He was trying to get his wealth background, right?
Yeah.
You told me you want to do 2 shots? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't even, you know, I didn't even have to force him to go get a job. He had used my car and he's like, babe, I just got hired for a job. I start tomorrow. And I was so happy for him that he did that on his own. He went in there, he applied, he went looking everywhere. He was so happy. Like he didn't care what it was. He was just like happy to be working.
Because he had some issues with police earlier. But you're saying that it was like around the fall, you told me over the phone, right? That's when he was like, I'm gonna have him cut the envelope.
No, back in December, he had cut off his bracelet. And the moment that everything went downhill at that point. He was trying so hard to do good, but all these, you know, dead ends, he kept going into these dead ends. And he just went to a point where he was just like, okay, I give up. I don't know why I'm trying to do this. And he did it in the spur of the moment. He didn't mean to do that. Because the next day, he had called me and he's like, oh my goodness, I messed up. I wasn't thinking. Like, I didn't want that. I was just upset. Like, I wasn't thinking. I just gave up, but I don't want that. But what can he do? What can he go and tell his, you know, the probation officer, hey, I messed up. I didn't mean to do this. They're not going to give him a second chance, are they? Or are they just going to automatically throw him back into jail? And he's been in there, you know, and he's had bad experiences in there. He's been mistreated in there. And I have a lot of criminal complaints of his where he has told them, hey, I want to see somebody. Hey, I need to see a dentist. And they denied that from him.
At the jail, you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a lot of complaints that he had put in.
Okay.
That is why he just feels, you know, he's traumatized by that. It's just like, you know, in his mind, he feels like they will never understand. In his mind, because, you know, he's never gotten help from them.
Well, he's never had a good relationship with police.
No, and they've never helped him when he's tried to be genuine, like, hey, I need help. You know, they've never helped him with anything like that. So
is that why you think, like, when he knew police were inside there, he got a pipe and a knife? Like, he felt like he had to maybe defend himself?
I feel like he was threatened. Like, he felt like, okay, well, let me just, he was nervous, he was scared. I don't think he was thinking straight. You know, and I've never known Daniel to do drugs. So the fact that they're portraying him to be a drug addict as well, I've never known him to do drugs. You know, he lived with me. We lived together. We were together every single day. I know that man. And he, you know, it's just, he wanted a better life, and he wasn't even close with his family. He wasn't close with his family. I mean, his best friends and me are been the only main factors with him for this past time, and he's never really had a close relationship with his family. So, you know, yeah.
You seem like you're being a good influence on them.
Yeah, definitely. I want.
I can take that.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were saying that you were the one that was kind of trying to straighten, get his life together, right?
Yeah.
So for you to hear this now, I'm sure it wasn't.
No, it's definitely frustrating. You know, I don't know why it even happened like this, but it's not right. It's unjustified what they had done to him. So there are so many other ways to go around it. I mean, how do correctional officers take down these prisoners when they're coming at them with knives? You know, I've seen videos. They take down a man, they'll pepper spray him first, they'll tase him first. They didn't even let that taser take effect.
Yeah, they said that the taser like didn't work, but you know,
yeah, and
thick clothing. I mean, it was a cold day.
He already had dropped that you know, the pipe on the floor already. So you know, when the fact they shot him 17 times, that
it's overkill.
Yeah, I want to know how many times he was actually hit. It's a small round, so I don't know. Because there's a difference, right? Like how many times their guns were actually fired versus how many times he was hit. But
Well,
Does it really matter? They intended to shoot him 17 times.
Yeah, I mean, they're saying they felt like they were threatened, so.
we can't even have a viewing because his body
What
is
is that?
mutated. Like, that's upsetting. You know, a lot of people
Did you
want
want this on air? Is that like on Facebook or something? She's a,
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, was I supposed to stop?
well, that's just so that's graphic.
I mean,
so.
these are real details of what's happening, though. We're not trying to hide. We're not trying to hide what this family is in trauma, you know, and that's what people are not understanding. Like, this is a traumatized family. This is a young man who was in an empty room. He's in an empty room with cops surrounding him. And we have to believe that the only way he can be apprehended is by shooting him and murdering him by 17 shots. You know, it's unreasonable. And if nothing else, it's excessive force.
Sorry,
But-
I didn't want to not put that on there. I just, it is graphic. I didn't know if you wanted.
It is
Yeah,
very
that's
graphic.
why
The
I just
police,
wanted you to
I
know.
could understand if they would have shot him in the leg or something
police
to take him down.
violence is graphic and it is offensive. And you know, I'm a spokesperson for APD, VCSO, and crisis. I'm out here advocating all the time for families, and people don't understand what it's like to be 24 years old, to be isolated out of their own community, to be called a felon is like being a second-class citizen in our society. And there's so many people who look at him that way and they push them out. So what is he supposed to do? He was looking for shelter. He was in there to be sheltered in a place he had just lived. He was just living there, residing in those apartments. Those people knew him there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you said that beautifully. I mean, right? I think she did a
Yeah,
really
you know,
good
and
job
so
of
like
interview, so.
what APD did is very offensive, and it's tragic, and it's awful what they did to these people and this family. And we know at least 2 hours before that APD had been following him around. So we don't know. We're not convinced that this is an accident, that they just happened upon him in this apartment. I'm very concerned about what happened to him.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, there's just, I kind of feel like there was something still left inside, but
Oh, sorry. Is there something else you wanted to-
I just wanted to let them know, you know, like, we are traumatized by this, but I feel like these prisoners don't get the help that they need. They just send them out on these streets with no guidance.
And no support services.
None at all. Like, he didn't have anybody there for him. So he's just in this mindset, like, okay, no one cares about me. Why should I care about myself? You know, so I tried letting him see the other side, and I was there for him. He was doing great. I could see it in him. He was, man, he held himself so high. He was so confident. He had manners. He was genuine. He knew all about having respect. He
That's
did.
rare nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Well, and it's important to know that he's only 24 years old.
For sure.
You know, and
For
he's
sure.
trying to rebuild his life after already having to deal with the criminal justice system and being targeted in his own community. So, you know, the people take for granted what that would feel like to be 24 with no support out here trying to find shelter on a cold night. So, you know, like the way I think the narrative that's often told through media, through APD press conferences, is always something, you know, they try to stereotype or make it seem like this is somebody whose life didn't matter, or like nobody's supposed to care about him, and we're very offended by that. You know, the
speaking
fact
for
that
media, I mean, that's why we reach out to you guys. to
yeah,
see if
and
you
so
wanna
we
say
appreciate you
something.
being here today, you know, but, you know, the family provided a photo of him, and one of the news outlets used his mugshot from MDC. Why would they do that, you
We have
know?
not been using the photo, actually. Did you guys want to give me that photo? Because we didn't get it from anyone.
Is there any way that I could send you one?
Yeah, you could text it to me. Just
Okay.
have it be one that you took, because
Yeah.
just like copyright and stuff like that. So you have my cell phone, right?
Yeah, I see.
And thank you
Yeah.
for doing that, because,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, that's
We just
the
don't
thing.
have one, so.
And that's the thing that often happens, you know, they, people will use their last mugshot photo.
And you feel like it criminalizes them.
Yeah, it makes a community who already is operating on, you know, on fear and anger about crime in the city feel like they shouldn't care about it. You know, so we want to make sure that the narrative is told correctly. And this is a young man who was struggling. You know, we don't doubt that he was struggling, but he should not have been murdered the way he was.
Perfect. Guys, thanks so much. And yeah, feel free to send me the photos so we can use that. We haven't used these photos, so that'd be great.
Okay.
Just send maybe like 2 or 3 to me.
That'd be great.
Okay, and within the hour. Sorry, our deadline is like fast
Okay.
approaching. It's like on top of us.
Okay, yeah, no worries.
Kayla, thank you. You did a great job. I know that you were nervous, but I thought you did a great
Thank
job.
you for
Thank you so
covering
much.
us.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.
All right, thank
All right,
you.
guys.
Oh, yeah, I could get off
I
live
was
now.
nervous. I feel like I kind of